welcome to the deep dive. Today we're venturing into something really fascinating. The sacred science of Hindu rituals. We're looking beyond just, the tradition itself. We want to dig into the principles underneath, these profound spiritual technologies.
Exactly. And for this, we've looked at quite a range of sources, things like the Agamas, the Vedas,
Okay.
insights from yantras, mantras, and, even the meaning behind really common things, lighting a diya, ringing a bell, that sort of thing.
Right. And our aim here, our sort of mission for this deep dive, is to reveal let's say, the precise and logical nature behind these rituals.
Yeah, to show they're more than just customs passed down generations. There's a depth there.
So let's start right at the beginning. When we say Hindu rituals, what are we actually talking about? What defines them?
Well, at the core, you could say they're systematic spiritual processes. They're designed to align the body, the mind, and the soul.
Align them with what?
With universal energies. And what's really interesting is that the sources don't frame them as superstition. No, they're often described as having neuroscientific and energy-based aspects, almost like ancient biohacks, if you will.
Ancient biohacks. I like that. Optimization techniques from the past. Okay, can you give us a few examples just to make it more concrete?
Sure. Think about puja, worship. Or homa, the fire rituals.
Right.
Sandhya Vandana, those daily meditative practices. Even something as simple as the Namaste greeting.
Ah, okay.
Each one has layers. Symbolic meaning, yes, but also an energetic impact. And this connects to the idea of the subtle body.
The Sukshma Sharira.
Exactly, Sukshma Sharira. It's like our energetic blueprint that underlies the physical form. Rituals are thought to work on that level, too.
The subtle body. Okay, that feels like a really key concept here. Let's maybe break down some of these rituals people might see or do. How about lighting a diya, that little oil lamp? What's going on there?
Well, the flame itself is significant. The sources identify it with Agni-tattva.
The fire element.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And its purpose isn't just illumination. It's seen as purifying the space around it.
Purifying.
But there's also a deeper layer connecting it to the Ajna chakra, the third eye.
Through looking at the flame.
Yes. The focused gaze is believed to help activate that center, which is often linked to intuition and awareness.
Huh. Interesting. More than just making things brighter. Okay, what about the sound? The ringing of the bell? The ganti in temples or homes?
Ah, the bell. The sources we looked into often mention a specific frequency associated with temple bells. Around 528 hertz.
528 hertz, that's specific.
It's a commonly cited frequency, and the belief tied to it is that the sound can help synchronize brain waves.
How so?
It's thought to guide the brain towards a theta state.
Theta. That's a state associated with deep relaxation, meditation.
Exactly. A state conducive to deeper processing and stillness. So the sound is almost like a tool for mental tuning.
Using sound to tune the mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty fascinating. Now, what about applying tilak or bhasma, that mark on the forehead?
Yes, this is very intentional placement, usually right on the Ajna chakra, between the eyebrows.
That same spot is the flame focus.
And it's believed to have a couple of functions. One is helping to sort of conserve or focus energy at that point.
Okay.
And another is related to retaining body heat. That spot is considered a marma point, a vital energy point, and the paste is thought to help regulate temperature there.
Wow, okay, so much intention packed into these seemingly small gestures.
Yeah.
What about walking around a temple? Pradakshina.
Yeah.
Clockwise, is that just tradition?
There seems to be more to it, according to the texts. They talk about temples often being situated on energy vortexes.
Energy vortexes?
Yeah.
Like natural ones?
Yes, built on specific geomagnetic centers, places with heightened natural energy.
Yep.
And the clockwise movement, the pradakshina, is understood as a way to align your own energy, your inner rhythm.
With the energy of the place?
With the energy of the place, or even with a larger cosmic rhythm, moving with the flow of that energy.
Right, aligning inner and outer. Okay, we're seeing real purpose here. Now, sound again. Mantras are obviously huge in Hindu rituals. What's the science behind their power?
Sound, particularly mantra, is seen as incredibly potent. The sources stress that correct chanting isn't just speaking words.
No.
It generates something called nada.
Nada.
N-A-D-A. It's described as a vibrational field. And this field is believed to actively transform the environment and, crucially, our own consciousness through resonance.
Resonance. Okay, can you give some examples? Specific mantras and their significance.
Absolutely. Take alam or om. It's often called the primordial vibration, the sound the universe supposedly emerged from.
Source sound.
Kind of, yeah.
Wow.
Then you have the Gayatri Mantra, highly revered. It's believed to activate the intellect, sharpen awareness.
Hmm.
And maybe the Maham Ritunjaya Mantra. This one is strongly associated with healing frequencies, known for calming the nervous system.
It's interesting how these ancient ideas sometimes echo modern findings, isn't it?
Yeah.
But sound affecting us physiologically.
It is. And some sources do draw parallels, pointing to modern research suggesting chanting can lower cortisol, the stress hormone, and improve focus, mental clarity. It seems there's an intuitive understanding there that science is now exploring in its own way.
So we've got actions, we've got sound. What about the elements? The Panchamahutas, earth, water, fire, air, space. They're central in Hindu thought, right? How do they play into rituals?
Oh, fundamentally, rituals are often structured around engaging these 5 elements.
Lato.
Take water, jala. You see it in Abhishekam, the ritual bathing of deities. It's for purification, yes, but also seen as magnetizing the idol, charging it.
Right.
Fire, Agni, is central to Homa. The fire transforms physical offerings, ghee, herbs, grains, into subtle energy carried upward.
Right, transforming matter.
Air, Vayu, is engaged through things like incense, the fragrance carried on the air, and also through pranayama, specific breathwork techniques to enhance prana, the life force.
Prana.
Earth, Prithvi, is represented by offerings from the earth. Flowers, turmeric, kumkum, sandalwood paste, they symbolize grounding, stability.
Makes sense.
And finally, space, Akasha. This is invoked through mantra, the sound vibrations filling the space, but also through silence, creating an emptiness that allows the divine to enter.
It really is a holistic system engaging everything.
Yeah.
And even food offerings, Naivedjam, there's more to that too.
Yes, definitely. The idea isn't just symbolic offering. It's believed that the food, offered with devotion and mantra, actually absorbs the divine frequency present during the ritual. And then, when it's distributed and eaten as prasad, it carries that blessing, that subtle energy into the person consuming it. It becomes consecrated.
Prasad, a tangible link. Wow, this all provides a really rich framework. But, the inevitable question arises, especially for people living busy modern lives. Are these ancient rituals still relevant today?
That's a really important question, and the sources we've explored argue strongly for their continued relevance.
Why?
They suggest rituals are powerful tools for training the mind, enhancing focus, developing discipline, for opening the heart, fostering devotion, gratitude, compassion, and for tuning the body's energy.
Can you give a practical example? How might a simple ritual benefit someone day to day?
Well, think about setting aside just 5 or 10 minutes for a simple daily puja.
Sure.
The act itself cultivates discipline. Creating that quiet space offers stillness amidst chaos. The focus required trains the mind, and expressing gratitude, making an offering, that shifts your emotional state.
So it has psychological benefits woven into the spiritual practice.
Exactly. And again, there's resonance with modern research. Studies on mindfulness and even simple routine habits show that intentional, repeated actions can reduce anxiety, improve mood, and sharpen focus.
So it's not necessarily about hours-long, complex ceremonies?
Not at all. The sources often emphasize that the intention and presence are key. Simple acts performed mindfully can be very effective.
Like what?
Like consciously lighting incense with a feeling of gratitude, chanting a single mantra with focus for a few minutes, even mindfully offering a glass of water. These small acts can help recenter you, realign your energy.
That makes it feel much more accessible, less daunting. Okay, so for listeners who are intrigued by this, maybe want to try incorporating something small. What are a few practical rituals they could easily start with?
Sure. Based on what we've discussed, here are maybe 5 simple things to try. 1. A brief morning sandhya. Maybe just offering a little water towards the sun, perhaps chanting Surya Nama, acknowledging the sun's energy.
Okay, simple enough.
2. Light a diya, an oil lamp, in the evening. As you light it, consciously bring gratitude to mind for the day.
Nice.
3. Try chanting Amuam, or perhaps the Gayatri Mantra just 11 times. Really feel the sound, the vibration, don't rush it.
11 times, got it.
4. Maybe apply a tiny bit of secret ash, basma, or sandal paste on the forehead, that ajna point. Just as a reminder, a point of focus.
Tangible anchor.
Exactly. And 5, this is important. After doing any small ritual, even just for a minute or two, sit in silence for maybe 5 minutes afterwards. Just allow yourself to absorb the feeling, the energy.
Integrate it.
Yes, allow it to settle.
Those sound very doable. It really seems to come back to that idea of intention, doesn't it? Doing it consciously.
Precisely. The sources frame these rituals almost like keys, but the key only works if you turn it with intention and presence. Just going through the motions mechanically? Well, that misses the point.
This has been incredibly insightful. It definitely shifts how one might look at these practices, seeing the sacred science within them?
I think the main takeaway is that Hindu rituals aren't just random traditions or blind faith. They represent this living, timeless, well, science, for want of a better word, a technology for elevating consciousness, for finding harmony.
And it's about that conscious connection, that mindful participation.
Absolutely. It's not about just believing, it's about experiencing.
Which leaves us and our listeners
Yeah.
with something to think about, perhaps.
Yes, consider this. How might bringing that same quality of intention, that mindful presence to your everyday actions, making tea, walking, listening, how might that change your experience of them?
Applying the ritual mindset beyond formal ritual.
Exactly. And perhaps understanding the principles we've touched upon today. How might that shift your perception of ancient practices you might have previously dismissed as just tradition, something to mull over?